I've always been a team guy. I've always been a great teammate, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing.
And you hope to be able to play right away. You know, you were close last week.
I was close last week. You know, I hope to be able to play this week versus the Titans on Sunday night. So.
Will you always have Super Bowl 50? Will that be?
I always have Super Bowl 50. You know, seeing the pictures when I was walking out, it just made me tear up. You know, but we always got Super Bowl 50. I always got Broncos country, and just keep going.
Is there hope then, as this thing you saw with Peyton last week, that someday there's a bow that ties where you're Ring of Famer, Hall of Famer?
100%. That's what it's all about, for sure.
Thank you, Von.
Thanks,
You're the
guys.
best.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks.
Let me go ahead and save you the trouble. I think I know you well, and if I didn't know you before, I've definitely got to know you and how you think even more over the last year and change of talking to you for 2 hours every day, or at least 5 days a week. So this is the part where you say, oh my God, what are the Rams doing? Do they not care about the draft? All they do is trade away their draft picks and mortgage their future. And they did it for Matthew Stafford, and they did it for Jalen Ramsey. And how many Super Bowls they gotten them? And now they're trading for Von Miller, washed up old Von Miller. They're giving up a second and a third round pick in next year's draft. This is not how you build a football team, Les Snead. This is not how you build teams, because good franchises build through the draft. And this is not how you use draft capital. Shame on you, Les Snead. Because this is not going to work out, and that's why this is a bad decision. If they don't win the Super Bowl, then it's the wrong decision. If they don't win it, then it was a mistake.
Different context. As Eddie Murphy said, around about 1988, hey, it wasn't me. Hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And even though well, maybe in that case, right, maybe it wasn't you. Even in that case, in 1988, right, it was him then. It was him in 1988, and it was me probably last spring or early in 2021. But I gotta tell you, it's not me right now. I don't feel that way now. As a matter of fact, I have greater appreciation and greater information about what the Rams are doing. And I got to say, you know what will surprise you? Maybe it won't surprise you, because you've been on the Rams thing all along. You're like, hey, go ahead and do it. Go do it. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. Turn to your neighbor and say, this is your season. Turn to your neighbor and say, breakthrough. Okay, all that stuff. Right, right? Well, I didn't realize that even with all their trades and even with all their so-called future mortgaging and all that the Rams are one of the 5 youngest teams in football. Did you know this? That they're one of the 5 youngest teams in the NFL?
I didn't realize they were one of the 5 youngest teams. No, I did not.
I didn't know that either. So even as they continue to make these moves for Jalen Ramsey and moves for Matthew Stafford and doing all this thing, that upgrading, they still have a pretty young team, but it makes sense.
They do a great job.
You're going to be that top.
They do a great job at the bottom of the draft. They do a great job with those late round picks. A phenomenal job with those late round picks.
It's a great job with those, and also you almost have this necessity. I mean, if you really think about it, if you got to have so many high-priced players on your roster like Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and now Von Miller and his $9.7 million that they don't have to pay most of. You gotta have all those guys, Matthew Stafford, then you need to hit on some guys who don't make a lot of money, and whether they can play or not, they gotta be on the roster, because everybody on the roster in the salary cap league can't be making, 17 or $18 million. Great move though. In all seriousness, Mike, great move, 8-time Pro Bowler, and he's gonna get a little bit of a bump playing with those guys.
They got a Hall of Fame defense. Madden would not allow you to assemble this kind of defense. If you were in franchise mode in Madden, in what world would you get Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller on the same defense at the same damn time?
Come on.
Okay? Listen, man.
That's ridiculous.
It's brilliant. And Von Miller, by the way, I know he was hurt last week, but even at this advanced age, Still gave the Broncos 4.5 sacks, 7 tackles for losses, and 9 QB hits. But more than anything, he's somebody that's got to be respected. He's somebody that has to be accounted for in a way that, and I know they try to do the bookend thing with Bradley Chubb at Denver, and even earlier than that with DeMarcus Ware, and he's had some counterparts, but nothing like Aaron Donald, with all due respect to his teammates in Denver. Nothing like Aaron Donald. So now you're Von Miller, you're going to probably get less attention than you've ever had your entire career. So he should thrive and flourish in that defense, which was only, I believe, 10th in points allowed and 21st in yards. But what I like about it is two things. One, and you already said it, you already alluded to my feeling, is go for it. Go for it. I love the way Les Snead general manages as if every day is 4th and short. He's going for it. All right? And you knew that when they went all in on Matthew Stafford. Like, this wasn't something where it's like, oh, we're building for the long term. It's like, we're trying to bring a Super Bowl here and bring it here now. But, and I love that you pointed out how they're still one of the youngest teams in the league. And then I back that up with the observation about some of the later round picks that they've hit on, like Jordan Fuller, for example, just to name one. What I like about it is the paradigm around draft capital is, or if it hasn't in certain cases, long should have changed. I think, and it's not just the Rams. The Rams have swung for the fences with Ramsey and Stafford and now Miller, but it's not just the Rams. I think you're seeing a lot of teams understand that draft capital is nothing but money, and how you decide to use that money is up to you. If you want to spend it on a rookie, unproven player, great. That's the lifeblood of your franchise. Getting young players on rookie contracts, that's fine. But more often than not, it makes the most sense to use draft capital on proven commodities, especially if you have a win-now window that's occupied by an Aaron Donald. So people look at it as like, oh man, you're mortgaging your future. No, not really. Because as we've often talked about, and as the cliche goes, the draft being such an inexact science, why not take a 2 and a 3 next year? And by the way, you had 2 3s. They had 2 third-round picks, because of that dumbass rule that rewards a team for another organization hiring a black guy. So because Brad Holmes got hired as the Lions general manager, the league awarded the Rams an extra 3rd-round pick. So they had the extra 3 to play with. So I just love this approach. I love the move in the short term, and I love the big picture approach on the part of Les Snead and the Rams to say, hey, we got an opportunity to go from Jared, throw it away on 4th down Goff, okay, to Matthew Stafford. Damn upgrade. What it cost us.
It was an upgrade.
That's a clear upgrade. It was an upgrade. The day they made the move, they became a better team. And we got an opportunity now to bolster our defense, which has been good, but not dominant. We got an opportunity to bolster our defense with another future Hall of Famer. It's a no-brainer. And I just think people overthink it when they look through that old school archaic paradigm of, man, but what about the draft picks? Stay out with the draft picks. If you get to look at Lombardi in your trophy case, you got to look at Lombardi in your trophy case. Where those draft picks go, look right over there. And again, and this is where I do come back at you, because I don't know if you've evolved on this, because we've argued about this when it comes to the Clippers, the Nets, and anybody else that's made a bold move. It ain't about the result. It ain't about the result. If the Rams don't come out of the NFC, all that matters is that they put themselves in position to do so. That's the job. Whether or not they win it or not remains to be seen. In the meantime, you put yourself in the best position to succeed, and they've done that.
Mike, I thought you knew that anything I say about Brooklyn is not really what I feel about Brooklyn. I just like to
No, but you said it about the Clippers too. You said it about the Clippers. You said it about everybody that's made you said it about the Bucks when they made the trade for Drew Holiday. That is only a success if they win.
No, I like that. Now listen.
Not at the time.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm giving you a scouting report. Let me give you a scouting report on Michael Holley. Michael Holley will move the goalpost as he sees
100%.
fit. Okay,
100%.
He'll move those goalposts.
He'll move those goalposts. Remind you that
based on personalities. Because they ain't got nothing to do with Brooklyn. Because if a team that I like had done what Brooklyn did, I'd be like, yeah, there it is. It's just Brooklyn. I'm just hating, man. That's all. It's not really
but
about
across the board, across the
big
board.
picture.
No, but across the board. That's why I said the Clippers, the Bucks, across the board, and even the Rams when they made the trade for Stafford. You hold tight to draft capital, and you don't like big moves unless those big moves pay off, which I think is just a bad way of looking at things.
Well, I would say in each case, it's personality. Personality goes a long way, right? So personality got in the way. So
by that
Matthew
rationale,
Stafford,
if a dog had better personality, he would cease to be a filthy animal.
right?
Pigs got
No,
personality.
pigs are
that goes
filthy
along.
animals.
Dogs got personality that goes a long way. I picked up on that. I like it. Yeah.
All right. Matthew Stafford, I had to get those takes off that he was a dome quarterback. I had to get those off. Dome quarterback. So that factors into that.
Okay.
Then Kyrie with Brooklyn. I got no issues with Milwaukee. The Clippers. I don't know. Maybe back and forth. Maybe I was mad at the Clippers for firing Doc. I don't know.
Maybe it was cool. This is good. This is healthy. This is good. This is great. This is
so
really
I'm just
healthy.
telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just breaking it down. I'm deconstructing.
In your own twisted way, you're being consistent. Consistently wrong, but consistent nonetheless. No,
right.
I can appreciate that.
Right.
I can appreciate that.
But overall, big picture.
Have you watched Scenes from a Marriage yet on HBO? You watched that? With
No,
Jessica
I have not.
Chastain
Is
and
it great?
Oscar Isaac? Really good. Excellent. Fantastic. Watch Scenes from a Marriage and you'll appreciate how this marriage, if you will, we just had a breakthrough moment, which you psychoanalyzing yourself, a la Oscar Isaac, Jonathan, in Scenes from a Marriage. But you were saying, continue.
See, no, I'm saying like the big thing though, going for that idea of, hey, let's do it. Let's go for it. I like that. In real life, okay? In real life, I'm about it. Just go for it, because you don't know. You don't know. First of all, you don't know how much time you're going to have. In the NFL, this is important. It might be in all sports, but especially in the NFL. You think, I'm going to do this. I've got a 3-year plan. You don't even know if you have 3 years. The old school 5-year plan has moved to 3 years. And sometimes you don't even have 3 years as a head coach, as a general manager. You just don't know. So here it is. You just got to go for it when you have an opportunity. They had an opportunity. They did it. But let me ask you this, though. Let me just ask you, because I had a team. A team came to mind, and I wonder if we're on the same page here. I look at the Rams and all these stars together. A certain team came to my mind. I said, you know what, they're going to be like this team probably in December, in January. When we go out there for the Super Bowl, Mike, when brother from another takes on Los Angeles, the LA Rams may have a home game in the Super Bowl because they will be in the same tradition of this Super Bowl. There's a hint. This Super Bowl winning defense. Anybody come to mind when you think about who they got together? Like a collection of stars on defense? It's old school, though. It's old.
How old are we talking?
20 years. Specifically.
Oh, the Ravens?
No, the Buccaneers. 02.
Oh.
02 Buccaneers, where you just look at.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
I thought you meant they were more homegrown with Brooks and Lynch in particular than this outfit.
I'm just talking about the
reason
collection of.
I got you. The reason I say Ravens and
talent.
Look, nobody in history really has been in 2000 Ravens, 85 Bears, and so on. And the 2002 Bucks, they're in that mix as well. But the reason I say Ravens is because they had veteran. If I'm recalling correctly, they had a Rod Woodson. They had Siragusa. Obviously Ray in the middle, but they were more free agent and veteran guys, if I recall correctly, on that 2000 Ravens team. But no, I could see that. I could see this defense rounding into form and turning into a dominant unit, coordinated by Raheem Morris. There's been a lot of leaking from time to time with this defense. So maybe it gets to that level, maybe it doesn't. I mean, Leonard Floyd's been really good.
I think they go up, though.
Absolutely.
I think they really do. I think they jump.
I think they can.
I
can see that.
If I'm not mistaken, and you got these stats down. I know you've committed them to memory. Some of these NFL quirky historical stats. I think Derek Brooks in 02 had like 5 or 6 touchdowns. He had like 5 touchdowns. A linebacker.
Hell, it felt like he scored that many in Super Bowl 37.
I can see them just jumping up where, you know, Donald is like all of them will be improved, but just this addition of Von Miller. Von Miller's going to be better. Ramsey's going to be better. Donald's going to be better. They just got 3 game-changing, game-wrecking, transcendent defensive players, and it's
I hate to wreck your party.
It's just rare.
But don't you dare think about setting foot. Don't you dare think about setting foot on this here Rams bandwagon, okay?
No. I know you.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Just making sure.
I see your flag.
Okay, just making sure.
I see your flag been waving there.
Because if so,
been waving there for about
if so, I'm
8
taking
months.
it back to 1950s Alabama, and your ass going to the back of the bus. If that's what you decide you're gonna do, if you about to sit up here and start sweating the Rams.